galvanize together to commit to that one goal. I think I made it.
Volunteer either to be good or bad.
Also, our scale group is coming.
Okay, in our group, we had learned that we have to be a little more mobile into getting people, to meeting them where they're at. We have to utilize the churches. We have to give them the information. We have to give them the information where they understand it. Sometimes we have information that we understand, but they don't understand. We have to utilize the churches. We have churches that can pack all our people in there, and they're giving them hope every week, but they're not teaching them anything. Have a meeting where you're going to teach them how to build their credit. Have a meeting that's going to teach them how to be better parents. Give them meetings where you have information that will give them rides to work, that give them child care, that helps them with housing. You know, you have to put them in, get them to the steps where it's going to grow them a little bit, because to be honest, some people don't have a lot of attention spans, so you can give them all the information in the world, but if they don't see any growth, they're like, okay, back to the normal. But if you teach them things that are going to give them just a little bit of growth and a little bit of growth, they'll start to really just want the information, because they'll see the change in their lives. But it's just not a lot of change that's going on right now. And we can talk all we want, but we really have to get some of these people, and especially churches, I really, because you can pack out a church. And if you can pack out a church with a lot of black people, pack out a church with a lot of black people with a lot of information and a lot of classes, just, that's what we should do.
Thank you, Ms. Stein, Ms. Tucker, and Dr. Benny's. Let's give our report outs a hand. We would like to appreciate you all for being with us today. We don't take it lightly that you have taken this time with us. And we wanted to take this opportunity to invite you to be a part of the work that we're doing in the community. We're endeavoring to build more relationships and to build more partnerships to not only transform the African American community, but to help to transform the overall community. I'm trying to remember to say it how Alana said it, but if it affects someone directly, it affects everyone indirectly. And so what we want to do is directly impact the African American community and indirectly impact the entire community of Battle Creek. And we also want to serve as partners and advocates for other groups that are working on issues and inequities in our community, so we can all work together in our broader ecosystem within Battle Creek. So again, thank you so much for being here. Can you give yourselves a hand? Just a few announcements, and I ask that you would take note of these things. Tomorrow, across this country, and 14 sites, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation Initiative, Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation will be celebrating the National Day of Racial Healing. Yes, please. We're excited about the work that WKKF is doing globally and nationally. Battle Creek is one of those sites. And during daytime at the foundation, there will be a youth summit, and those students have already registered. However, as community members, you can engage beginning at 5 p.m. tomorrow. There will be 2 affinity receptions, racial healing receptions, if you will, here at the Record Box, and I'm announcing this so that you all can help us spread the word, if you will. Here at the Record Box on the 2nd floor, the Latino community will host a reception, and then just around the bend at Raffinet's, the African American community will host a reception. And then beginning at 6 o'clock, right in this room, we will have the National Day of Racial Healing Dinner, hosted by the Battle Creek TRHT. We have several speakers that will be sharing. We have wonderful food. We will have 3 buffets, a Burmese cuisine buffet, African American buffet, and also a Latino buffet. In addition to the wonderful speakers. And then at 8 p.m., Nano Di Japo, I know I did not say that right, but they are African drumming and dancing group from Detroit, and they will be doing a performance right here. So it's going to be a wonderful evening, and I ask that you help us to spread the word about that. Right here in this room, I saw Mr. Whitfield gone now, but I know that Mrs. Lamont and others are working on the 2020 census. If there are other groups, you can raise your hand at this time, but we want to encourage everyone to be engaged in that process as well. There are also voter registration education drives sponsored by the NAACP and A. Philip Randolph Institute. Finally, want to ask you to